Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing this with your friends. Today's episode is with our friend Joanne Fedeyko. Joanne was born in Edmonton, Alberta, because there was no hospital in high level where her parents lived and she grew up. Joanne tells me that her dad and grandfather went into farming in the 1960s. Looking back and listening to stories her dad tells today, they were the epitome of true entrepreneurship. They had grit, unwavering determination, and a vision that turned homestead land into a successful farm of 2,500 acres along the 59th parallel. Her mom is deeply caring and compassionate and is always wanting to help others. Joanne's sister is resilient, strong, and is also looking for ways to constantly help others. Besides her loved ones, Joanne is passionate about the work that she does in supporting many entrepreneurs. Combined with wine and whiskey, good friends, and trail running in the Bay Area where she lives now, she tells me that she's a pretty happy girl. Friends, you'll find her full bio attached. Joanne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! 2021, how exciting.
Exactly.
Are you ready for the questions we sent you?
I sure am.
Excellent. Okay. The first one, I'll find this very interesting with your answer. The most challenging things that you've had to deal with in the last almost a year now.
Yeah. Sitting for so long.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like I'm now starting to go out every single day for a walk in the Edmonton area. And so I'm so grateful for the mild winter that we're having right now.
Yeah.
But the number of steps that I take in a day is just so dismal, even when I get out for that walk. And I just don't think it's like great, obviously, for our bodies for doing that. So it's sort of funny, but that is the thing that I am personally really struggling with. But holistically, I think it's just like really seeing the devastation happening to small and medium-sized businesses out there and the small mom and pop businesses. It's really hard to see that, we can close down. We're in tech. We're used to doing these Zooms. This is sort of easy for us. It's our work. It doesn't change, but those businesses have just been devastated. And I feel like as a consumer, we just have very little that we can, offer to them. And I think everyone's doing what they can. But it's just really sad to see. So that's the challenging part, I think, in this last year.
I share that with you, Joanne. It's been a lot of heartache and, obviously loss of jobs, businesses closing, businesses hurting. The recovery is going to be a very, very long time unless we have some miracles happen. And I'm hoping some of the miracles come from you and the work that you do.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No.
Right.
You got this. You got big shoulders, girlfriend.
Thank you.
Your 3 things. I'm looking forward. Tell us.
My 3 things that I want to leave you with. So the first is my Canadian Women's Network. I started that several years ago in the Bay Area to support female founders from Canada to really help connect them into Silicon Valley for the expertise. I'm a big believer because I moved away from here when I was, I won't say my age, but 20 years ago, let's just say. And you mentioned I grew up on a farm in northern Alberta, and the world is really small when that becomes kind of your 4 walls that you see. And I graduated and I saw Edmonton and I saw Calgary, and then when I went to the Bay Area, that was really when I went, wow, like there's a much bigger world out there. And so I just really fundamentally and like wholly believe it's so important to be able to have access to now global like connections and have a global network and be able to build a business globally. And so, before COVID, people would come down to the Bay Area and then you'd meet one-on-one, and hopefully that'll come back again. But now it's even, critical that we still continue to build those networks. And we've launched an online platform and community where Canadian women can come and be able to interact with the network that we've built in the Valley for the 21 years that I've lived there and the 7 years that I've been doing this connection between Canada and the Valley, but now so even like more globally too, and kind of connect with each other. And so I think that that is an opportunity for people to, in this time of loneliness and in this time where there sometimes a lot of people are pivoting, trying to figure out how they stay alive, how they create something that's relevant, capitalize on what they've built already, and keep it going amidst everything. That's like a community that I'm super proud of. That's available to Canadian women founders. The second is the work that we're doing to promote Alberta and kind of give it some brand and recognition. So I always joke that if you're in the US and you run into somebody and you say you're from Canada, they'll say, oh, Vancouver or Toronto. But if you do it in the Bay Area, they'll say Toronto, Waterloo. Like Waterloo's built a great brand. Montreal and Vancouver obviously come into the mix. Shopify's put Ottawa on the map, but still Alberta doesn't have any brand profile really. So the work that we're doing with a grassroots marketing campaign to promote Alberta in the Valley, and again, more so globally now, just to be able to showcase the amazing technologies that are being developed here, the people, the grit and the determination that's here, to try to put Alberta really into the consideration set when it comes to people looking to expand their businesses, move personally or professionally, tap into like really great talented resources. The Bay Area, of course, has a plethora of wonderful talent, but it's really competitive there. And places like Toronto and Vancouver are the same. And Alberta really gives a great opportunity for people coming and be sort of a big fish in a small pond. So I'm super excited about that work. And then the last thing is just like this opportunity that we have to support each other. So kind of going back to what's happening in the world today and finding ways that we can help each other out, as well as get the support that we need. I was on a call yesterday with about 10 female founders. We did a little roundtable. And of course, lots of challenges with being a CEO and a mom and now a school teacher and all the other things for these women, and kind of talking about how that even if we just say gratitudes, like 3 things that we're grateful for. I personally go to bed every night and write 10 things that I'm grateful for. But also it's like, what are we doing to help one another? One of the things that I think helps us when we're down, so we hear, and it's proven, I've tried it too, is just giving back to somebody else. So reaching out to people that if you see that maybe you could mentor them, if you can donate to them, if you can be a sponsor to them, if you can be a partner, if you could just be like a shoulder to be able to be supportive. I think now is a true opportunity for people to do that. And I think that there's lots of ways that we can do that in offerings. We just have to kind of keep our eyes open for it. And again, some of the things that we're doing hopefully allow us for that and provides a good vehicle. So I'm the glass overflowing kind of girl. And I've been trying to keep a positive, look on things with COVID. And so I continue with that to say, we got to seize this opportunity and just make the most of it as we can. And that's sometimes just kind of looking up and out from our own little world and saying, how can we help others?
That's awesome. I see you with a cape of some sort.
I have an inside joke, but I won't share that on here. But yeah, no cape though. But thank you. Thanks.
Darn, maybe next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Maybe at Halloween.
Well, keep up the good work, Joanne.
Thank you.
And what about the third thing, the area of legacy, good news, or opportunity on the horizon?
Definitely tougher, this one. The legacy piece, I think, again, if we can just make this world a better place and we can just think about how each one of us are doing that. I try to do with the things that I mentioned and some of the other initiatives that we have of just, again, taking an asset that I have, which is my network that I've built and the trust that I've built among that network, and being able to open it up and offer that to other people. There's people way smarter than me that, I'm connected to that can really help. Again, we focus a lot on that early stage entrepreneur, that business owner, that person that's just doesn't know like where to go or the questions to ask. And it's like if you were to just plop somebody into a new city, you couldn't expect them to just wayfind and know where to go or the places to see. And especially those small little, not the monuments, but the back street, pubs or places to go to. And I think that's that's really what we try to do, is kind of be that wayfinder. So I hope that that's a legacy that I leave, and that because of COVID, we launched online. I was not doing anything online before, and so that's really been an opportunity for us, and I think that's gonna stick around. Good news story. So I have one. There was an event that I spoke at. I think you were on it back in October for Intergen's Wine Wednesday. Yeah, and there was a woman that reached out to me after that had spent her career in oil and gas and was looking to move into tech, but obviously had trepidation and questions, and kind of looking around to say, well, like, what does that look like, or who is tech? How do I go about that? So we chatted, and just before Christmas, she emailed me and said that she accepted a job with a tech company, and that. Hey. Yeah, just how kind of that conversation kind of validated for her what she was pursuing, and I'm super excited for that, because I think as well, COVID has highlighted for all of us how short life is, how concentrated it could be for us as we're in our own four walls and not going out anywhere, and so I'm really excited when people think about that. And so I think she's pursuing her dream, or a different dream for her. Yeah. So, and I think
great news.
Opportunity for a lot of people these days, right?
Yeah, we just have to it's a lot of work to look for it. When you do find it, grab on and say yes. I always say to everyone, say yes until you have a few offers in front of you. Only then do you have a decision to make.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're in that business, so you know that well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Joanne, thank you so much for joining us today. I loved your words of wisdom, and keep up the good work. Go Alberta.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing here.
Thanks, Joanne. You're awesome. Everyone, that was Joanne Fedeyko, a great human and an awesome advocate for Alberta, but also for the Bay Area and everywhere she touches. She's awesome. Check her out. Check out all the good work she's doing. Thanks again for joining us on Cat's Track. We'll see you next time.